I've always loved to travel. As a child with my family, as a teenager with groups of friends, when I had kids with them, of course. And then with my ex-husband, when we were still married, we used to travel quite a bit. I was even lucky enough to travel a lot for work. So it's always been something that I really appreciated doing. I loved discovering new places, new people, new cultures, and perhaps discovering a part of myself as well. Last year in 2024, when I decided to leave my husband, he volunteered, he offered that I go anywhere I wanted to in the world for as long as I wanted to. I think it was his way of making sure that, to give me the time to think about my decision and make sure it was the right decision for myself. Turned out it was, and I'm pretty sure he feels now that it was the best decision for him as well. That trip, I gotta say, when I left, I imagined Julia Roberts. You know the movie Eat, Pray, Love, where she goes to 3 different countries and eats and finds wisdom and finds love. I was hoping for wisdom, for enlightenment, to understand what made me so often feel in my life that I didn't deserve, I didn't belong, I wasn't good enough, all of these things. I was hoping that one day I went to Italy, I would be in Italy, in Tuscany, or in wherever, and finally understand and be able to resolve those situations, those issues. It didn't happen. Very often, I know for me, that's what I wanted when I was traveling. I wanted to meet someone or go through, have an experience and go like, doesn't happen. And I really think that the reason is it didn't matter where I went. The person who came with me was me and all those issues and insecurities and challenges. So when I left him in 2024, I moved back to my home country of Canada. I knew I had a lot of work to do. I really wanted to understand why I had stayed in a relationship that wasn't good, neither for me nor for my ex-husband, for so long. And why I felt like I didn't belong. Like when I was working and I was on the road, and even when I went to Italy on that trip by myself, very often I would go to the restaurant, get food, go back to my room and eat in my room. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. For me, it's not about the decision we make, it's about why we make that decision. And honestly, I made those decisions because I was too embarrassed. I felt bad for going to a restaurant by myself. When you sit there and there's nobody to talk to, and I didn't want to experience that feeling because I thought that people would look at me and judge me. So I decided to eat in my hotel room instead. Why did I feel that way? I wanted to get to the bottom of things. So I did a lot of work on myself. Now, this past fall, 2025, twice in the same week, I read and heard about people traveling around the world, and that planted a seed in my head. And I talked to my kids about it, talked to my friends about it, my sister. And then I got scared. But then a part of me was like, no, you're talking about it, just do it. They'll teach you to talk about things, projects you have before you're ready for them. So I did it. At the end of September, I left for Australia, wanting to travel around the globe. And I did it. I was gone for 6 weeks. Not a whole lot of time. Some people take years to do it. And for me, in a very silly way, I did want to travel around the globe. And that's one thing I wanted to do. But more than that, I was challenging myself. Not to go to countries just to say, I put myself in danger and I survived. That wasn't it. It really was about testing myself. It was like a final exam, if you will, because I had made some changes in my life to where now I could feel it. I could hear that little voice when I started to feel like I didn't belong, like I wasn't worthy, like I wasn't good enough, like I was getting in the way, I wasn't where I was supposed, all of those little things. I could feel it coming up, catch it, question it, and go like, nope, let that go. Do your thing, you're good. I could do that comfortably when I was at home with people I know in circumstances that are fairly regular, the same, ordinary. But what was going to happen when I was halfway around the world and I was sitting in a restaurant and I felt like the server was giving me looks like, why is she by herself? Or, those situations when I started feeling lonely, when I looked at the people around me thinking, oh my God, everybody knows what they're doing and I don't. What was going to happen then? That was the reason why I left. So for me, buying a ticket, that was easy. That was so easy. You get on the plane and you go. You get on a train and you go. It's what happens in between, in those moments where you feel shaken. And I survived. I had so much fun, and I could catch myself. I could feel those emotions coming up when I started to feel like, oh my God, everybody's looking at me and I have no idea what's going on and I don't know what to do. And not only did I catch it, but I could actually stay grounded and ask for help when I needed help and sit in a restaurant by myself without wanting to disappear under the rug. I had an amazing time. So now that I'm back, my plan is very simple. I want to share what I learned before I went on a trip, how I planned my trip, but also how I handle situations, whether it be with, getting money or currency or eSIM cards and packing and all of those things, but also the moments where I started feeling like, what am I doing? All those moments where you feel like you are no longer in your 50s or 60s or 40s. You're like a 5-year-old child who's afraid, who is scared that people are judging them. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to be sharing a lot of stuff on Instagram, and I'm going to share my handle with you in just a quick moment. But sometimes whenever I want to go a bit deeper into what I'm talking about on Instagram, I'm going to link a video here on YouTube because it's so much more convenient to share a bit more in depth. And I'm hoping that you're going to join me on my journey. And if you have any questions, please by all means reach out and let me know. And I'm excited to embark on this new adventure with you.